What's going on, guys? John Santos, and today we're here at Project inside of Magic, and we're going to be checking out WRLDINVSN Apparel, which is a brand that's located right inside. They reached out to us a couple weeks ago. We've been wanting to work with them and to really share their story and vision on how they're building their brand from the ground up. So make sure you guys hit the subscribe button right now and turn on those post notification bells if you're a new viewer to this channel, because on this channel, our mission is to bring clarity to business and help entrepreneurs build brands that impact the world from the ground up. So let's get it. Appreciate you once again for having us out here, bro.
Thank you, man.
Tell us how this all started, man.
I went to middle school with Nick, and then once I transitioned to the private school, I started to play football, basketball, and baseball there. And it was just a different environment that they were on to. They were wearing Crooks and Castle, 10 Deep, Diamond Supply. And, you know, we were wearing Hollister and Aeropostale. You know what I mean? So you can see the transition and the difference. So it was like, man, people spending $50 for a shirt. Let's try to sell us shirts and make some money from it. So we tapped into it, and it was just a hobby for us at that time. We both were fortunate enough to get scholarships to college. Well, I played football at Louisiana Tech and went for business management. And Nick had a top scholarship, and he went for graphic design. And at Tech, like, our lives changed. You know, we got in the business accelerator program at Tech. And that's when we really got on the cost of goods, profit, tax, team building, like things that we really needed to take our brand to the next level. And once we graduated college, we decided that we were going to do this full time. We have about 28 team members, and we operate out of 15,000 square foot warehouse. And I mean, it's just been crazy building this thing up, pushing out the message, pushing out what we're about, and just seeing the reaction that we're getting from everybody and how we actually touching and inspiring people. And it's been crazy though.
No, dude, this is such a legit, like literally from the ground up story. Like you guys started it from such an organic place. I think now with social media, people see that immediate win, and people are like, yo, how are they doing it so fast, right? But it's like, they didn't see you guys for 10, 11 years. This is the first time you guys been at a trade show, right?
Yep,
so how's it been? Yeah, so what are you guys learning from the buyers? How are the buyers getting to meet you guys?
It's a different thing for us because we're so direct to consumer that now we're, you know, working with store owners, and then it's like, oh, are you gonna be able to get this in 2 weeks? And you know, we just so used to just dropping our merchandise, selling it, and then moving on to the next thing. So it's just been honestly fun to see. We walk out this booth and walk down to the concession stand and like, I see you on YouTube. Oh, I know this brand from Instagram. That's what's been the most exciting thing and the most, like, I would say, memorable thing here. Like to actually see the brand is already grown before we even got here.
That's legit, bro. No, man, I love what you guys are doing here. We're gonna take a look around a couple of the stuff you guys got, and then you guys are gonna stop by the studio tonight, right? So we're gonna get a good Q&A session. Really going a little bit more in depth on the brand building side of things with you guys.
Hey, that works, man. Hey, thank y'all so much.
Sure, bro.
Appreciate it.
Hey, before we dive into the next part of this interview, I want to talk about something that has helped me in the past and is helping hundreds of thousands of e-commerce entrepreneurs get funding for their brands, and that is Clearco. Clearco is one of the largest e-commerce investors in the world that let you own 100% of your business, and they do all this by providing funding in less than 24 hours. Now let me show you guys how they work. Now through Clear Capital, you can get easy funding to grow or for your marketing or to reinvest back into manufacturing. I personally used this in the past to get funding for marketing, which we use to market on Facebook and Instagram. So you may be wondering how all this works. To confirm you're a good candidate and you can repay back your funding, they take data based on your e-commerce transactions and finances from your bank. Now they make it a lot easier to get funding than a traditional bank would, as they're using an AI algorithm that's going through all your transactions. It's going through your banking history, and they're even looking at some of your social media activity. So if you're interested in getting funding from Clearco, make sure you guys check the links in the description right down below to learn a little bit more about how they can help your business grow. Now let's jump right back into this interview where we continue to talk about how WRLDINVSN used Instagram to grow their e-commerce brand. So when it comes to your guys' logo, to the WRLDINVSN, like what does WRLDINVSN mean, and what does the logo you guys created represent?
So what we do, we provide original designs and branded fashion to urban youth who feel stagnant and trapped by what the environment tells them what they can and can't do. And we say our logo, it looks like a torch, so we call it the torch that lights your vision. And by that, what we mean is that we leading the way. We wanted to lead by example. So we were the ones out inspiring people to actually follow their dreams, follow their goals, and reach out above their circumstances to accomplish them. And telling them that they need knowledge, a plan, and action. And so that's what we all about and what our logo stands for.
But it's crazy, look, because we actually made that logo probably when we was in at least like 8th grade.
What, you guys made it
Bro,
in 8th grade?
We made that long time ago.
It's been the same?
Yeah. Like we used to like Gucci, Louis Vuitton, so we was like, man, we want something that's elegant, we want something that's simple. Just our symbols like combined together, so it give you like, I mean, it looks similar to the Maserati logo. So it just we just wanted a higher class like type of vibe, but we wanted to have like affordable garments. So almost like that designer look, but like for the streets, for people like us that that can't really afford $300, $400 t-shirts. It was like we just jumped into the brand. Like we always tell people like have a plan, like figure it out before you actually do it. But when we started, like we didn't know nothing. I mean that's why it took since 2010 to really get here. But that's like what 11 years. But in the last 3 years is when we really started to blow up because we really started to understand the game and understand really what we were trying to do, our why behind the brand. For the last, like those 7 years before that, like we just were just figuring out why we really doing this. And like that's why now we trying to tell people you could skip past 7, 10 years, by just having a plan and having like a why for your company.
That's amazing. When it comes to the branding, marketing, design, or selling, which area would you guys say you struggled with the most out the gate?
Out the gate or currently?
Currently, or like that you guys were like, you know what, like this is the one thing that we have to really educate ourselves on, or you're retesting and doing, so brand.
Well, I say one that I go back to earlier too, kind of for brands just beginning out, is gonna be sales and marketing. I think we had to learn how to sell our product. Like we had to learn how to set up a booth. We had all those booths out there, and I mean, I guess now it was just a different type of buyers would come. We didn't want to be so pushy, but when you're going straight to customers, like they not really browsing around. Customers, they're gonna just walk straight past you. So you gotta really get out there and be like, hey, come check out my product. Let me show you what I got going. And that's what I think, like I said, we struggled with earlier, but I think that's what made our brand is what it is today. We would do 3 pop-ups a week at different colleges, and I mean, we wasn't just popping up, sitting behind the booth, letting the pop-up pop us up, but we was really out there like making it happen, like really pushing it, really making people put it on, and that's what really separated us.
That's facts.
That's what's up. And it does take the doing, right? Like you actively going and do that, because you can say, oh, go set up at an event, and then you have probably 90% of the people that are at events just like this.
Just chilling behind their booth, just like thinking everybody's gonna walk up.
Like, you want something? Like,
yeah, you gotta be a sales monster. Right. You gotta get out there.
How was it that you guys got out of that frame of mind and started selling? Like who was the salesperson between you two?
Both of us, everybody got to be a salesman.
Yeah, everybody. But I said when we really started to get, when we actually got, people were seeing us selling, so we was popping it up and we was selling it. But then we got, I said BJ and Kirkland. I shout out those 2 people. Like when we added them a part of our team, they felt the energy. They had the same passion. They could talk to anybody. And they had the same passion for the brand that we had. So now that we had not just 2 people, but 4 people, and then continue to build that team, had more people at the pop-up shop doing the same thing, like getting people over there, telling them about the story, locking in the sale. That's when we really, I say, the more that we did it, the better that we got at it. So like the more pop-up shops we went to, and the more times we just kept saying the story, kept meeting new people, kept consistently doing it. Like it's just second nature to that point. Right. And I mean, it took a while. I said it took us a good, at least 3 to 6 months to really like be able just to literally I say walk in the gym and just start shooting the lights out. With no practice.
When it came to social media, I think that's something that a lot of brands really struggle with. Like, how do they sell online? And I think you guys have a really good following. You guys got close to 400,000 followers on Instagram.
Like 350,
almost 4. We'll round it up, right? And
400.
400. And you guys had a really good following online. So like, what would you say was that shifting point of going from like that 1,000 Instagram followers to the 300? What happened?
We started doing like influencer advertising. So I think they had like, I'm gonna tell you the real turning point. They had like something going on like with like Gucci or something and H&M.
But it wasn't the recent thing. It was
like 3 years ago.
Mm.
And it was like Black History Month. And they had like a lot of people just trying to support black businesses. So we had made like a post. It was like a meme post that was like, we posted it. I don't think we posted it on our page, but we posted it on other accounts. Like we paid other accounts to post us, and like we started like it was like pages that probably only had 10,000 followers getting 10,000 likes on this post because it was so the topic of discussion of around that like around it just was crazy and the feedback was just crazy. So we start.
What the time with the post like it was like a no more Gucci.
It was like a meme. It was like no more Gucci, no more designer brands. Let's support World Envision. And we just took that post and bro, we had that post on every social media account that we could get it on, and it was like, it literally went from once it hit 20,000, like probably woke up the next 3 days it probably was at 100,000.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
like
it was like it was
going
going crazy.
Wow.
Like we got to 100,000 followers in 1 month for sure. Like off that, so we realized the power of influencer advertising for sure. And then when it comes down to like really blowing up on the internet, you gotta have a good website too though. Like so the fortunate thing that we did have was like we have I'm the in-house graphic designer. Like I could do it right then and there. It's like we don't have to pay nobody to actually set our site up, you know, do our design. So like our site is like seamless. Like you could go in there, put a shirt in your cart and add it to the cart. It's like some people got sites, you'll add a shirt to the cart and then you can't see the text or something. You can't see the add to cart button or something like that. And that's what make people click off. So we just do whatever it takes to really get people to click through the site and get to what we're trying to get them to do, which is purchase. So we had all that set up before we even did any type of advertising whatsoever. So the design and the layout of our social media was like excellent from where we was at, I would say. Products looked nice on there, had good photography. So we had all that set up prior to us really getting into the advertising game. So like most people try to get into the advertising space without having those things done or perfected at the beginning, and like they don't see themselves converting. So they try to, it like discourage them to not keep going, and like that's why they don't think that it works. You see what I'm saying? And then it's like also learning about just testing. It's like gonna be an endless amount of, like we still testing to this day. Like people don't realize that I mean, just because it works today, that don't mean it's gonna work tomorrow. So like, and just because that worked well, don't mean something else can't work better.
I said, like looking at it as a front end and a back end. As in, by the front end, what we mean is like putting your message out there, like creating content that's centered around what your product is about, what you're doing, what you're accomplishing, and not just posting your shirt. Like we already know that we want to buy the shirt. Everybody knows that. But I think using your platform to convey the message of your brand, and then on the back end, you know, now you're able to use an influencer. Let's just say, just give a big influencer like a Lil Baby, and let's just say now you have all this content that promotes, that has your Y on that. Now you get Lil Baby to also promote your Y, and now you get bigger influencers, and now people gonna actually gravitate towards it instead of if Lil Baby still was to post it, and I go on your page and all it is just product shots. Is nothing that makes me like be like, damn, I see why Lil Baby like this. I always just like, damn, it's cool. Let me just go buy a shirt. And you may get that one customer to purchase that shirt, but what we in the business of do is create lifetime customers. And once you get it that one time, you're gonna have a feeling to where like you're a part of our brand, and so you're gonna order again. So like everything we doing is a reminder behind that. So that's what I say.
I said one growth hack that's like been around that we haven't really realized, but that's gonna always be around is just collaboration. Like if you just collab with people, I mean y'all both bring y'all values together. You know, you provide value, they provide value. Like you're gonna be able to grow because y'all can share your audience together. And that's like, I was just talking with your guy earlier about that, and we were just talking like, I mean Louis Vuitton did a collab with Supreme. They got Off-White. Supreme do collabs with everybody. You get what I'm saying? That's the way they able to get their brand so far, because it's like, I mean, it's just sharing. It's like sharing each other. Even with like YouTube itself. So like we collab with people. That's how we was able to grow so fast. You know, 16,000 subscribers this year. You know what I mean? Which a lot of people, they be like, man, I'm stuck at 100. You gotta collab with people, and then it's just like they might look at it as like, hey. They only got 100 subscribers, what can they provide to somebody? But really the creating content aspect itself, if you can help create some cool content for their channel, I think they'll appreciate that at least, you know what I mean? So that's a ultimate growth hack is collaboration.
So then right now you guys are at like, let's say 400K Instagram subscribers. How do you guys plan to get to that million? What's changing to like fuel that growth, or what are some of the things that you're going to consistently do moving forward?
Investing in video. We got on YouTube. So YouTube, we feel like, has allowed our brand to grow tremendously because now people are able to watch us like TV, and it's not just a post and a picture, but it's like a video. It's like, ooh, I could sit down and I could really understand how we think. And I think that when people understand how we think and the things that we believe in, a lot of people are the same way. Like, I like 2K and Call of Duty. I'm pretty sure that they got 1 million people out there that like 2K and Call of Duty, but if I never say that, if I never put it out there, if I never show that, I never post videos of me skateboarding, nobody will know that that's what I like. And they may be the same person too. So it's just being relatable. I think just being transparent with people is going to allow our brand to keep growing and just getting out there. Like as COVID continues to go down, we want to be not just online, but become more physical. We go and speak to schools. I spoke to the University of Kentucky football team, so we've been going to speak to high schools. So just getting more out there in the physical world, I think will allow us to get, and I mean, like when we tell them, University of Kentucky, pull out y'all phones. Y'all got Instagram? We literally get 100 followers
right then and there.
So it's like and now they see us, they know us, they interacting with our posts, and I think that that's what's going to continue to get us that millions follower mark.
Yeah, and it's like that's not something like we got on a priority list. More what we want to do is expand to just different platforms and like get our stuff on like you're saying, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook. We really want to post our content across all these channels because it's so many. It's like different audiences on every single one. And the more that we just put it on different mediums, we able to get each and every like it's people there that probably don't like at Magic. It's people there that probably don't follow us on Instagram, but we had at least 10 people say, "Man, I seen y'all on YouTube." You know what I mean? So if we would have never got on that YouTube platform, I feel like we wouldn't have got an extra 30% audience, or let's say 20% of people that is watching us now. You know what I mean? So that's what we really putting our foot on the gas at. And it's like, even with the followers, bro, it's like we really knew how to really grow the followers like easily. I mean, it takes time, like I said, once you just test and you figure out like what works. But it's like now what we really want to focus on is like the sales, the story, like the content that we really want to put out. Cause it's just like, now we want to level up our, our quality, our ideas, just different stuff like that is what we want to get into now. Cause we have the audience.
Right. And now you gotta really sell them. You gotta really convert on an ongoing basis because you have a nice size audience, and you guys can continue to fund it and grow the brand through that. So that's amazing, bro. So for the people watching out there, where can they find you guys?
Y'all can find us on Instagram at WRLDINVSN, WRLDINVSN. And that's also WRLDINVSN.com. Once again, WRLDINVSN.com.
On YouTube
at WRLDINVSN Clothing. Check out our YouTubes. We drop a lot of gems, do a lot of podcasts. Man, follow this brand. We telling y'all right now on this video, we're gonna be the biggest brand in the world.
Facts.
You guys heard it here first.
You heard it first.
We're gonna come back to this video and it's gonna be like, damn, 5-10 years, they're gonna be like, damn, they said that on that video.
Facts.
So
from the ground up.
Putting it out there.
I love it, man. Thank you guys for coming on, for real. We've tried to connect a few times. I'm glad we finally got to sit down and hear a little bit more of the story. For those of you guys watching, we're also going to be recording the podcast with them in a little bit. So we're going to dive into some more details. So we're going to link their website right down below. You guys can check out their apparel, their clothing offering, all the social media sites. We'll also link YouTube and Instagram.
Let's get it.
And then we'll link an episode to the podcast. So make sure you guys check that out right down in the links below. And let's get into this podcast.
Let's do it.